What's up, y'all? So it's Marz Dae. I don't have my headphones on right now. I'm gonna do this video without my headphones. But so today is Marz Dae. Marz Dae is all about acting on your reflections from the previous day. It's about acting on your passions and things like that. Oh yeah, so the first clip I showed, right, is like the little area, this section of where I live. You see what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? You see what the fuck going on? A motherfucker decided to park his little ass, lay the fuck down, and sleep inside of somebody's fucking porch. Well, I don't think anybody lives there anymore. But, hello? Do you see the type of shit? I've been living in Rio Piedra for 2 years. And the last thing I want to do is complain about anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful to have a place to live. I'm grateful to have a bed to be able to sleep on. I'm grateful that, you know, I can have a space where I can feel comfortable. I'm grateful that, you know, I have supplies and things that I can use to eat, to prepare myself, to get ready for the day. You know, I'm grateful. I'm very, very, very grateful. But I didn't experience some shit living in Puerto Rico in general and Rio Piedra, you know? So I understand that I showed, you know, a few different places and y'all like, oh, be careful, don't go there at night. Oh my God. I just want y'all to know that where I live at is one of the most dangerous places in Rio Piedra, Capetillo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of the most dangerous places ever. And I've been out walking around. I've been out at night. You know what I'm saying? I've traveled around this neighborhood at any time of day. You know, I was gonna say rain, sleet, and snow, but you know, it don't be sleeting and snowing. But you know, it do be raining. It do be hot as fuck. It do be, you know, bright and dark as fuck at times. You know, so I've experienced a lot, and fear is the last thing that, like, that's not, I don't give a fuck about fear, because you can't do shit with fear. You know what I'm saying? You can't do shit with fear. You can't do shit with motherfucking fear. So I just said all that to say that regardless of what's going on in your surroundings, regardless of what neighborhood you live in, regardless of what type of obstacles and challenges you may experience throughout your day, just know that you have the choice and you have the option. You have the ability to be able to create your own circumstance based off of your state of being. You know, you can will into existence the type of life you want to live, you know, and things like that. And hopefully y'all can hear me. If not, you know, this would just basically show a rainy day, you know, in Puerto Rico. It's not necessarily raining right now, but it has been raining throughout the night, which is also one reason of why that guy was probably laying right there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, like on the block where I lived, like it was an Aquarius moon at the time. A couple months ago, probably about I say maybe like 6 months, at least 6 months ago, right? Oh shit, this fucking sidewalk is slippery as hell. So about 6 months ago, right? On my block, I was coming home from work and I turned down my street. It was a bunch of people on my street. Everybody was crowded, everybody was gathered, everybody was all in unison, all together, just like on the street, right? And in the middle of the street, you know what I'm saying? Like they were all looking at something that was going on in the middle of the street, right? You know, so me not seeing this type of behavior before, like I didn't see this type of gathering previously. Like I never seen, when I see people gather, they're usually kind of in sections, like in groups. They're usually sitting down doing something. They're usually like looking out towards the street, looking out, you know what I'm saying? But it's like they was all standing in the middle of the street, and I wanted to see what was in front of them or what they was looking at. Do you know I seen a motherfucking body? A body. Somebody was laying on the fucking ground without life on the street right across from where the fuck I live at. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like I literally saw what this person had on. I saw the pants he had on. I saw the shirt he had on. I didn't see his face, but I did see his head. It was, you know, it was turned in a certain direction where I didn't necessarily see it. I don't know if that's how he fell, but I didn't actually see his face, right? My neighbor right next door to where I live at, these people was crying, these people was hysterical, these people was yelling, these people was screaming, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just going up to my apartment. They all looking at me, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I'm just saying, like, I understand y'all see me do videos in certain public housings and during the daytime, and y'all like, oh my God, be careful, oh my God. All of this and that. I just want y'all to know, like, I don't give a fuck how dangerous the situation is. I am always infinitely protected. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what's going on. You know, it don't matter what's going on. It don't matter what's going on. It don't matter, you know, what time of day it is. It don't matter, nothing. I don't give a fuck about none of that, because as I've stated, as I know, it's all about your state of being. You feel me? It's even been times, and this is really my fault, and I'm gonna be real vulnerable with this. You know what I'm saying? Where I live at right now, I lost my damn key to my house, right? So I had to break through my motherfucking door, you know what I'm saying? And since then, I haven't had a damn lock on my door, you know what I'm saying? And as I told you where I live, you know what I'm saying? I actually just showed y'all where the fuck I live at right now. So one of these days, it was 4 a.m., right? I was watching the live. Little Pilot Man, Uriel, flights, right? And I had fell asleep during the actual class, but I had woke up briefly, right? So I was watching the replay. It was 4 a.m. Flight starts talking about saying something about crackheads and shit. These motherfuckers done pushed through my goddamn door. And I told y'all, like, my damn lock is broken. You know what I'm saying? So, like, somebody pushed through my goddamn door. Me being shocked as fuck, you know, I just slammed that bitch back. And, you know, I was just, like, I never really been in a situation like that before, where, like, I'm inside. And, you know, I'm inside, first of all, without a damn lock to my apartment. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I'm inside. And, you know, like, somebody do some shit like that, you know? So I'm like taking it back. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Especially because it's 4 a.m. Especially because all of the damn lights was on. All the damn lights was on. You know, I'm blasting through the speaker, so these niggas know I'm in there. It's bright as fuck. It's loud as fuck. And these niggas had the audacity to do that. So I knew right away they was fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm just like, what the fuck? And then, so that happened, right? Tell me why months later, the other day, well, I'm not gonna say months later. I haven't had my lock for a couple months, but not like 6 months, like maybe like 2.5, 3 or something like that. And yes, I know it's very irresponsible. Yes, I know it's dangerous. Yes, I know it's unsafe, especially in the neighborhood of where the fuck I live at. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to get a lock from the store with my food stamps card. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to do that. So, you know, I've been thugging it out. At first, I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do inside, and I'm not gonna worry or be too fearful about it or anything like that. You know, so that was like the stage I went through or whatever. But then after that, so like I said the other day, probably like week and a half, 2 ago, right? Somebody fucking else pushed through my goddamn door. This time it was like, I think 12 a.m. It was like 12 a.m. or something like that. And when this happened, when I slammed the door back, it was a lady voice, and she was like, put it on, basically like, girl, like, how the fuck is that a mistake, bitch? Like, you know what I'm saying? You talking about sorry, like, bitch, how the fuck is that a mistake? But then, like, you have to think, you have to realize where I live at, I can talk about how beautiful it is, you know what I'm saying? And I can talk about it's not what you see, it's how you see it, and all these different things, right? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, it's like a lot of fucking crackheads, a lot of people do fucking drugs, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people is doing all type of shit, all different types of days. So bitch, one of my new neighbors, they moved the fuck in, right? And it's Marz Dae. It's real passionate and aggressive. It's real, I'm gonna say what the fuck I wanna say. You know what I'm saying? So basically, right, I'm trying to make sure, you know, I don't slip and fall. I'm walking through, I want to get this video together, talking, you know, a lot of different things going on. But okay, so what was I saying? The second time somebody pushed through my door. Okay, yeah, so the person who moved in across from me, this nigga, well, he a homie cheese, you know what I'm saying? He's white, and you know, he's a fucking crackhead. But this nigga decides that he wants to sell drugs out the fucking apartment building. This nigga is new to the apartment, so he's bringing all type of fucking druggies, all type of people, all type of junkies, all type of bums and shit is coming and knocking on his goddamn door. So guess what the fuck happens when he don't answer his bitch ass door? They see the door without the lock right across from him and decide to open it like a dumbass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck in your head make you think that that's the next thing to do? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful that I didn't have to be in a situation where I had to blow somebody's fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful that I'm not in the type of situation either, like the individual I showed in the beginning, you know, of this video, like that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm not in that type of position, you know, where I gotta find a fucking porch to sleep on, you know? So I'm very grateful. But at the same time, I experienced a lot of shit. So me walking through a fucking public caserio, public housing apartment building and fucking recording, and y'all talking about be careful, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I don't give a fuck about I know y'all just trying to be nice and trying to warn people because maybe based off of your situation, maybe based off of your experience and what the fuck you know, you just see this shit as danger. Like, oh, that's dangerous. You might think it's dangerous because I'm not necessarily from this neighborhood, or you might think it's dangerous because of the shit you've seen. I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to know that. I don't care how many times y'all put be careful and all this type of shit in the comments. I know y'all being nice. I know y'all just telling me. I know y'all this and that. But I don't give a fuck about fear. I don't give a fuck about fear because that shit don't do nothing for you. So, anyway, I know y'all probably wondering and thinking now, like, well, bitch, what the fuck you gonna do about your situation? You don't got a damn lock. And you just outside walking around. You know what I'm saying? These videos is how the fuck I'm getting out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, I already have a new apartment. Things is just getting situated. Things is just getting together. And what's in my apartment is just material shit. You know what I'm saying? So if something was to happen, you know, I'm grateful that, you know, I still got me. I still got my mind. I'm still a spirit in the body. I'm still aware of my surroundings. I'm not fucked up so much to the point where I'm dependent so much on material things and I don't know how to move and navigate in the world without them. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I'm in a lot better of a situation than a lot of you niggas who do got locks on y'all doors and live in a secure gated community and shit. Y'all might think y'all in a better position than these people like me, or the people, or the person that was, you know, sleeping on a goddamn porch in my apartment, right? But it's like, it's really about your mental state. It's really about your state of being. You know what I'm saying? And I would much rather mentally be able to have a certain level of awareness, you know, create my own reality, have faith, belief, and imagination, be able to utilize my spiritual strength and get through the day and shit like I would much rather, you know, be in a place where I know what state of being, I know what space I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but like I said, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to be alive. I'm very grateful to have limbs and the ability to be able to move around. I'm very grateful for my mind. I'm very grateful that, you know, I'm just very grateful. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful for like, I can go down the list and I'll be talking all day about all the shit I'm grateful for. But let's get into what Marz is about. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it briefly and I expressed the passion and aggression of what Marz represents. But you got to have that passion and aggression directed towards a certain area. Marz is in retrograde in Gemini as well. So it's only just a Marz Dae, Tuesday, right? It's also a Marz Dae in Gemini. And we know that Gemini is dealing with mutable air, thinking and communicating, you know, and adapting to the way you thinking and communicating, and the way you adapting to the way other people thinking and communicating, and the way that other people are adapting and thinking and communicating to you. You know what I'm saying? So all of that's going on, right? When it comes to your passions, motivations, and desires. So that's that whole thing I just told y'all about me leaving my apartment, seeing that shit on my fucking porch. You know what I'm saying? You know, it causing me to reflect and go into retrograde and be thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Be thinking about like my passions and motivations and desires and what brought me to a particular space and location mentally, and the situation that I'm in physically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like retrograde because it's like I haven't been in a situation like this individual. I've been without a physical home before, right? I've been without a physical home, but I have not ever been without a home. You know what I'm saying? Because inside of you is your home. Inside of you is your privacy. Inside of you is your heart space. Inside of you is where you feel comfortable at. So I've always been able to feel comfortable inside of me regardless of where I am at. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say it's not that same thing for that individual? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say it's not that same thing for him? You know? So yeah, like, so it's important to know where your home is at inside of you, what you feel comfortable with. So regardless of what uncomfortable situations I would go through outside of me. So like I said, I've been in situations where I did not always have a physical home, right? But I'm so grateful that for me, a lot of those places, I didn't ever have to be in a position you know, where I had to live in a bando or find a place or somebody's random porch to sleep on and shit like that. For me, it was more so like the location I was at. So when I was in Boquerón, right, there's beaches out there, you know what I'm saying? So in Rincon, right, people live on the beach, you know what I'm saying? So in Boquerón, right, I lived there for like probably like 2 months, right? And I'm outside breaking all type of rules, but to me, I didn't feel like I was breaking those type of rules because the beach don't close. The beach is an infinite place and space and location. It doesn't close, it doesn't open, it's just there, you know what I'm saying? So I felt comfortable in that. I felt comfortable to know that, you know, I was near the water. You know, I found some places where I could keep and store my stuff in one place, you know what I'm saying? I could sleep in another place. And then eventually, based off of my state of being, I was able to get a certain level of support, you know, from the people that work there, you know. So they done did some shit where, you know, they had the keys to this cabin, right? So they unlocked a cabin for me to be able to sleep in there, you know. So at first the electricity wasn't working, and I did talk briefly about this in another video, but if you didn't see that video, you know, I'm talking about it now because Mars is in retrograde in Gemini, you know what I'm saying? So Gemini, air quality, air attributes, they like to talk a lot anyway, you know. Geminis, Aquarius, Libras, they like to talk a lot. Air, the air element, they like to talk a whole lot, right? So it's me talking and thinking and communicating about things I've experienced before, right? So, and it being in retrograde, I'm looking at this individual outside of me and I'm seeing a position that he's in where he has to be sleeping on somebody's fucking porch, right? Retrograde is me, you know, having to have been in that similar type of situation probably like 2 years ago or so. You know what I'm saying? Where instead of it being somebody's random porch, you know what I'm saying, for me, I was inside of the, you know, the little lifeguard post at the beach, you know? I had my hammock inside of there and I was sleeping in there. And then when I couldn't sleep in there, I found a porch on the apartment, but so I was at Boquerón Beach, right? So the apartments that they got on there is like abandoned or whatever, you know? So nobody's in there, but some of the electricity worked for some of those buildings. So I was able to charge my phone. I stayed on the porch. I had my hammock set up, you know. So somebody that lived in that area, somebody that was a native to that area, he showed me the ropes. He's like, you can hide your stuff right here. You can sleep right here. Make sure when you wake up early in the morning, you take all your stuff and go somewhere and just come back here during the night and shit like that. That's what he told me, right? So I'm like, cool, right? I didn't really listen. I got comfortable right away. I kept my stuff up there, you know what I'm saying, all day. I don't wash my clothes, dry my clothes on the damn porch. So you could see from the bottom, because I was on like the 3rd floor, you could see that somebody living up there. You know what I'm saying? You could see somebody living up there. But I didn't think about that, you know what I'm saying? So these niggas at the beach, they done took all my stuff, brought it to the office, you know. And so that same day I went to the office, got my stuff back. They asking me questions and shit. They like, where you, how you get here, why you here, and you know, all these different questions and shit like that. They asked me where I live at, and I said on the beach. And they started shaking their head and shit, and there was nothing they could do. Ain't shit they could do. After I had that conversation, after they took my stuff and I got it back, after all that shit was done, I continued to live at the beach for a whole nother month, and these niggas could not do shit about it, especially because they didn't know where I was at. You know what I'm saying? I had to move around and be very strategic. You know what I'm saying? I had to know, and I had to see when they was patrolling, when they had the dogs out, when people start leaving, when it started getting dark, when they start, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn those patterns and those routines to know when I had to move, right? And like for the cabin, right, the shower in there didn't really work, the bathroom didn't really work, you know, it was just really the outlets that was working and shit like that. So I had to shower in a different place, you know what I'm saying? I had to use the bathroom in a different place. You know what I'm saying? I had to do all this stuff in a different place. And for me, I felt like I was low-key in my element because it was so much adrenaline. It was so much like, damn, you low-key not supposed to be doing this. But then in my mind, I'm like, how I'm not supposed to be doing this? Like, this is the world. This is the earth. Like, I done came to earth. I know I'm not from earth, but I can adapt and adjust to this shit. in any way that I fucking need to, you know what I'm saying? So, and I know the camera might be all over the place, but as I've told y'all, I'll be walking. I don't have a tripod or stabilized, whatever these camera equipment things is called, yet. You feel me? But anyway, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's like Mars in retrograde, because it's like I was in that situation, right? And I had my paintings, I had my I had my art. I brought my art with me to Puerto Rico. I ripped the cloth off the damn canvas. I rolled them bitches up. I had it in my suitcase. I brought it with me. You know what I'm saying? So like before I even got to that beach, right, I was in another part of Puerto Rico, Aguadilla, and I was working at this farm, right? And so I'm working at that farm. You work, you get room and board. That's where I was staying at. It was only for like a month and a half. After that, but during in that time, we visited Rincon, right? And I seen people living on the beach. That shit changed my fucking life forever. I'm like, people actually living on the beach. Like, this is real shit. Like, this is not just a cartoon Wild Thornberry. You know what I'm saying? I know they was living in their little RV, but still, like, I thought that was like a dream. I didn't know people was really actually doing that. These niggas was living on beaches. Not just one person, not just a little couple, a cute couple, and not just one person. I'm talking about multiple people with kids, little baby kids, little toddler kids, you know what I'm saying? And they living their best life at the beach, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh shit, like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's all I need to see, you know what I'm saying? So when that happened, right, I'm like, okay. So after the month was over, working at the farm, right, I'm like, okay, so after this whole thing is over, right, I know that I can find a beach to go to and sleep there and live there, right? But I didn't even have to think too much about it, because I met somebody who came to Aguadilla and they went on a tour and shit. That person was from Boquerón. Well, he was from Cabo Rojo. And he was basically my tour guide and shit. So he showed me all of Cabo Rojo. He showed me like the pink sand and shit like that. Pink salt, I mean, you know, these different terms, and the lighthouse and shit like that. Like, he showed me a lot of stuff, right? So after the tour was over, I'm like, you can just drop me off right here. Like, you can just leave me right here, you know what I'm saying? So ever since then, that's when I was like staying at the beach or whatever. And that's when it came to everything I was telling you, everything I was talking about previously, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, so I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna be too much in the judgy type of energy of that person that decided to lay his body and like sleep on the damn porch, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like 9 times out of 10 sure that individual is probably somebody that was buying fucking drugs from that fucking weak ass neighbor. And I'm calling him weak as hell, because bitch, don't be selling no fucking drugs where I live at, across from me, bitch. If you're gonna sell drugs, walk around and do that shit, or find another fucking location to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I care that you really sell drugs and shit like that. But nigga, I fucking care if your fucking junky ass, bum ass niggas is finding their way to my fucking crib. I don't give a fuck if I don't got the lock on or not, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why for him, I don't got no fucking sympathy. I don't got shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. Because he's drawing these niggas in, and you're new. Like, bitch, you just got here and you thought you could do some shit like that. You're fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? So, again, Marz Dae is about passion and aggression. Not having too much passion and aggression. You know, but it is the day to fight for your fucking battles. So some shit going on, you got some type of conflict, you got some type of something going on, you know, that's the day to fight your fucking battles. You know what I'm saying? You take your reflections and things you had going on from the previous day, your ideas, your thoughts, the creativity and what you individualized from Sunday, that that you was in, and giving yourself recognition, and what I'm saying, let's say Sunday you went to a banquet and awards show for your creative attributes and shit like that, and you like, wow, like I got all these creative shit going on, I'm amazing, like you set your own banquet up, you got your own red carpet, what I'm saying, you got your own setup and shit like that, and you the person giving yourself the awards. Let's say, like, for me, that could be, like I said, me doing like a award show, whatever, but me having my paintings and shit like that. So that brings me to, let's say on Sunday, I was thinking about how when I first got to Puerto Rico, when I was in Aguadilla, and I decided to bring my art with me, what I'm saying? That was the first art show I had, right, in Aguadilla. I took out my paintings, and I just showed them to the people that was around, what I'm saying? I showed them. It was just random, what I'm saying? Like this, I'm working at a farm, what I'm saying? Learning about how to feed baby goats and plant pineapples and shit. And I just took a random moment in the day to take out my art and show these people, what I'm saying? So it's like I was able to build self-value in that moment, because this space is about something else, and I brought my position here, what I'm saying? And so that was the first time I really put my art in front of people for them to like tell me what they think about it type shit, what I'm saying? Like I wasn't even thinking about selling it or giving prices or anything. Like I was just like, I got my art, so I'm about to show these people, what I'm saying? It was something I created fucking 12,500, however many 1,200, however many miles from Puerto Rico in Florida, where I painted them at. I brought them to Puerto Rico, what I'm saying? So my passions and my motivations and desires is directly related to my creativity, what I'm saying? And my intent for my creativity is how good it feels doing that shit, what I'm saying? It's a part of me. I feel good doing that shit. I'm grateful to be able to have hands and the ideas and the thoughts and the ability to be able to, you ever look at something you did and you be like, wow, like, what I'm saying? You really did that shit. So Sunday is about that type of shit, what I'm saying? So Sunday, let's say I had the award show and shit, and I'm just like, you done came a long way. Your art done transformed. Your music done transformed. You done learned how to get places without GPS. And I'm just really breaking down, like, how you go to high school and let's say you've been in band for 4 years and shit. And your band director is telling you all this shit about your travels. Like, you the most valuable player and you the most improved and you done been through so much and we done came to this point, and you might feel emotional. I'm saying? You might even have a song dedicated to you that's playing and shit like that. And it's just like this whole moment. So let's say Sunday is that day. I'm saying? Monday, the next day, is when I'm reflecting on that shit. Of like, boom, that was cool, that was good. I felt amazing about that. Now, with everything, all those feelings and everything I experienced from Sunday, all those accolades I gave myself on Sunday, I'm reflecting on them on Monday. I'm saying? And y'all seen the way that I reflected on certain shit, certain ideas, certain thoughts, was me traveling and walking all the way to Carolina and going to Walmart and going to the art section, the art supply section, and looking at these art supplies and imagining that I got my damn art studio, what I'm saying? So Marz in retrograde again, because the previous job I had to this one, I was actually working at a clothing store, at a artistic type of, place expression where I could, express my ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. So it was that type of environment where I was learning how I could transform my art, how I could transform my creative attributes and my, I was learning how I could transform that. I was learning all the intricate details when it comes to embroidery, bordado. I was learning the language and the words, for these things, in this particular environment. So, and when I was working at Meme Bordados, which is the name of the store, right? When I was working there, I learned, different words, like, okay, like let's say you got a hat and you want to stitch a design on there using embroidery and they got a machine set up or whatever. So the process of doing that is called boqueal de gora. I could be saying it, off or whatever, but boqueal de gora. So boqueal is like Boquear, and then Dae, DE, so space DE, and then Gora, which is hat, Gorra. So basically, that's when you take your hat, you put it on the machine to be prepared to stitch it, right? That is called Boqueo de Gora, right? So like I said, I could be pronouncing it wrong. And you might know Spanish, and you might think about what I'm saying and like, oh, she probably don't know what the fuck she probably saying it wrong or whatever. I could be saying it wrong, but you also might not have necessarily heard those words together unless you were working in that particular field, or you happen to just know about it or whatever. So yeah, but anyway, so the reason I said Mars in retrograde is because Mars, when it comes to my passions, my motivations, you know what I'm saying, my passions, my motivations, my desires, my anger, aggression, everything like that, it's like it was going towards my art. I saw a vision for myself of like everything I'm learning from this, I'm gonna be able to build my own studio, I'm gonna be able to build my own store, I'm gonna be able to build my own all of this, right? And so, you know, in that process, I saw what I was capable of. I saw how quickly I was learning. I saw how good I was at it. You know what I'm saying? Even working that job, I went by Mars. Like the documents I would put in, things that I was experimenting with, and the things I was working on, and the stuff I was digitizing to be put on like screen printing and stuff, because that was another thing, like screen printing, heat press, embroidery, all of that shit was right in front of me. I was really doing it. I was really, you know what I'm saying? Like when I say the best job I've ever had, and it wasn't because of the location, it wasn't because of the people I was working with, it wasn't because, it was literally because of the action I was putting in, the way my hands was moving, you know what I'm saying, the shit that I was able to fix and put together, you know. So it's like you know, Mars in retrograde, because now, like I said yesterday, I was reflecting on the shit from Sunday, you know, everything I done experienced and having that banquet for myself. And so on Monday, you know, I'm reflecting on that shit, you know. So the way I was able to reflect on that shit was by, you know, walking an hour and 30 minutes to get to Walmart, going to the art supply section. And I didn't even realize that I was on my way to the art supply section. I was just going to Walmart to walk around. I thought I was just going there to get some tea. You know, I just so happened to walk right to the art supplies section, and I never even have been in that section before. I've been to that Walmart, but I ain't never really been to that section at all. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know where it was. I wasn't looking at the signs to get there. I was just navigating and walking through the people. And you can see in the previous video, I'm actually going to do some timestamps for that video. But, you know what I'm saying? So I'm walking through, I'm navigating, I'm going through the shit, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm walking all through, right? And in that time, I'm looking at the same equipment from the previous job I was working, where I talked about all that Mars energy that was going on, how I even put Mars as the documents and shit. And so my mom, she named me Mary, right? M-A-R-Y. So, right? So when I was working there in different documents and shit, like just imagination ideas and shit I was putting together, I was putting Mars on my shit. M-A-R-Z, you know what I'm saying? So Mars, you know what I'm saying? So I already told you what Mars is about. You know, passions, motivations, desires, aggression, anger, you know what I'm saying? And so it was that Mars shit, and my name actually low-key being fucking Mars, you know what I'm saying? And then me in my passions by working that job every day, you know what I'm saying? And all of that shit. So like I said yesterday, I walked to Walmart. I was reflecting on that shit and putting the action into it as well. You know, shout out to Dre, because she did a reading and she was talking about how I think she was saying it was for Cancers or Virgos, one of them, because I had watched a lot of them, but for the Libra, Virgo, and Cancer, I know it wasn't the Libra one, so it was either the Virgo one or the Cancer one. She was talking about how you know, just putting that card, I think it was Virgo, she was like putting that cardinal action into what you visualizing and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And she was saying like, are you traveling? And you know, just a lot of synchronicities or whatever. And I had seen that reading after I had already went throughout my day, after I was already walking around, you know what I'm saying? After I was already doing what the fuck I was doing, you know? So that was just like extra confirmation, more synchronicities and shit like that. So that was Monday. That was how I was reflecting. Tuesday, today, it's more aggression, it's more passion, it's more, it's, right? And for me to start my day seeing that shit from my apartment, the nigga fucking just laying there, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm pretty sure it has happened before, but that's my first time actually seeing it, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen this individual, like I've seen him outside before and shit, and he'll be sitting on somebody else's porch, like, and I didn't think nothing of it, you know what I'm saying? But for him to take his, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. So right now, my ideas and my thoughts is related to, everything I was just talking about and my progression when it comes to yesterday, Monday, about me going to the art supply section, me being able to visualize being in my studio, imagining that I'm really in my studio based off of me just being in the art supplies aisle in Walmart, right? So today I'm taking this walk again because I really took the walk before yesterday to go to the post office. The post office was closed, so I decided to keep walking and go to Walmart. Today, the post office should be open. If it's not open, it's fine, it's cool. I'm gonna just walk back, do another video, continue, move on, what I'm saying, adjust, and that's what I go by too. I really go by just, you know what I'm saying? It's about adjusting, you know what I'm saying? Adjusting to every circumstance and situation, you know what I'm saying? And not letting it impact you or you feel too like you can't move on. I got adjust is about like being able to withstand any weather, any storm, any tide, you know what I'm saying? For you to be able to be in any situation, any circumstance, any scenario, and you know what I'm saying? It's not bringing you down. Like, it's not like you're not hopeless, you know what I'm saying? Like, you actually motivated, you actually inspired. It's just like when Scorpio is passionate about some shit and they got an intent towards something, they melting that ice inside of them, where they like, fuck my feelings, I'm about to do this shit, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, my progress chart, my progress Libra will be Scorpio, you know what I'm saying? I don't know a whole lot about my progress chart, you know what I'm saying? For a little bit of time, I actually thought that progress chart had something to do with Vedic, and I'm just like, I don't know shit about that or whatever. But anyway, so yeah. So, it's like the Scorpio shit, and then Scorpio is related to Mars and Pluto and shit like that. So when it comes to passions, motivations, desires, intent, when it comes towards me, actively putting in, my ideas and my thoughts and stuff, and just putting my feelings aside. Because fuck my feelings, fuck my emotions, fuck, this shit, sad, happy, crying. None of that shit matter if I'm not putting it into action to do something. You know what I'm saying? And, whatever I'm doing, being backed and supported by being satisfied, you know what I'm saying? Having satisfaction, not in a state of complaining, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So today, Tuesday, like I said, Marz Dae, Tuesday. I don't know how to say Mars yet in Spanish. I think it might be the same, like pronounced, like spelled the same, or, I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, now I'm able to go to the post office. And the stuff I'm getting from the post office is what's going to help me for my day tomorrow, Wednesday, which will include a lot of Mercury aspects, a lot of communication, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of, one-on-one and, just preparation and acting out all of the things from the previous day, all the stuff from today, Tuesday, all the stuff from the previous day, Monday, all the stuff from the previous day before that, Sunday, you know what I'm saying, Saturday, Friday. My day of the week really starts on Friday, you know what I'm saying? And, for me, anybody day of the week can start on whatever day. But, you know what I'm saying? For me, it was just like me putting the love, appreciation, and value I have for myself and what I have going on just into action, you know what I'm saying? Like, displaying my art in a different way, talking about it in a different way, you know what I'm saying? Everything, right? So, So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to know about the days, know the meaning and reasoning behind the days. Don't be too stuck and fixated on what was going on in the past, but you able to, learn from your mistakes. You able to utilize what's going on in your surroundings regardless of how it makes you feel, you know what I'm saying, you know where to place and put those feelings. You know, when you experience and what you experiencing, it's like, you know, your experiences is your spiritual experiments. Just like if you're doing a math equation or some shit and you got this and put this together and it's supposed to equal something else or something like that, right? It's like you able to chop it up, divide it, flip it, and, you know, do all this stuff to come out with a certain outcome. And you might have been in math in school like, what the fuck is this equation for? What the fuck is the point of knowing this? You know what I'm saying? But as an adult, you grow up and you experience life, you become a spiritual adult, regardless of what age you are. And then you realize, like, okay, this experience, aka this first part of the equation, plus this other experience, a different day, a different type of situation, a different type of scenario, a different type of feeling, whatever I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? When I put those together, this is the type of outcome that I get. You know what I'm saying? So that's your experiences being your spiritual experiments and you playing them out and you knowing the meaning and reasoning behind them. So it just started raining, so I'm about to open my damn umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Because that don't stop nothing, you feel me? So it's raining right now. I rarely use an umbrella because you know, I just don't be feeling like carrying it and shit. But I decided to carry it today because when I left out, it was you know, it was like kind of drizzling and raining. I wonder what drizzle is in like Spanish, like light rain, like not exactly lluvia, but like not exactly raining, but light rain. But anyway, so you know, that don't stop nothing. So this is what Tuesday is about. This is just the beginning of Tuesday. Right now, it's probably like 8:39, something like that. And, you know, I just wanted to talk about what was going on my previous days. How what's going on today is preparing me for tomorrow. It's kind of windy. I don't got a case on my phone. It's not waterproof, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thugging it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thugging it out. Like, one thing I learned throughout this process and this journey in life is that I'm not gonna have no examples in front of me of how I should do things. I'm not gonna have no examples. I gotta be the example. You know, I ain't never really give a fuck about somebody telling me, oh, you can't do that, or if I can do it, or, you know, that really impacted me. I had to create the scenario and situation. I had to create that shit. And I even seen something on TikTok, and it was like, there was like, you know how you put the big old words on the video, and then it's like, me trying to explain to people, blah blah blah, and then it gets like a whole bunch of views, and it's kind of like, what's the word, not like something that people would usually or easily go against or some shit like that. It's some type of term. But anyway, so yeah, like it was like something like I seen on TikTok or whatever, and she basically posted, she was like, me trying to explain to people that if you was to use the money you had right now and just go to another place, go to another space, go to another country, you would just build up the motivation of how to be able to get through that circumstance and develop a way for yourself in a new world, you know, and that's how you would transform your situation, you know, like using the money you have to just do it. And then everybody, people in the comments, thousands of people, they're like, oh, that's not realistic, you got to do this and you got to do that. They like tell that to the homeless people and blah blah blah, and you know, and this, like, everybody is just like not understanding this concept. They're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's why we got so much homelessness and shit like that, you know, people going crazy with it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking, like, although I have experienced being without like a physical home, I also stated that, you know, I never been without a home because I know where home is. I know what it represents. I know the space that, you know, that the energy signature of home, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my state of being, my mental state, my faith, belief, and imagination, things that was not physical in the material is what helped me create my reality to be in the physical, to be able to experience certain things that you can't even imagine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything I might be talking about and me continuing to do these videos and my long walks and shit, especially in my new neighborhood, like, I'm happy and I'm grateful, you know, for these videos I'm doing right now. But it's like, you know, I'm excited to also do videos and learn and get to know my new neighborhood, you know. And that's why I can just appreciate everything going on, and regardless of all of that other shit, you know what I'm saying, I'm just grateful. So anyway, I'm almost at the post office. I wonder if it's open. It's Tuesday. It's January, like, I think 2nd or 3rd, you know. So maybe it's open today. But like I said, if not, this is just like a video of me going through the journey and shit. And this right here, right? So this is the public housing, Marz Dae. Y'all was in the comments telling me, oh, be careful. Like, that fucking neighborhood don't got shit on where the fuck I live at. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I really know about that neighborhood, and I haven't been there at dark and shit like that. But I'm just saying, where I live, something could have happened to me in the neighborhood of where I live and Caserio right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's both. They both Caserios. You know what I'm saying? You both. I mean, I'm not gonna say a Caserio is defined by like drugs and shit like that, but I'm just saying, in different places I've lived, I've noticed those are the places, the apartment buildings and shit that look like that are the places of where people can go to easily get drugs, right? Where I live at right now, it's drug infested junkie ass people living inside of my apartment building. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, at this point, I understand the dangers and shit. Like, I understand, like, oh my God, like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't recommend this life. I wouldn't suggest this life. This is not a how to live in Puerto Rico and solidify yourself video. This is me talking about my experiences. You know what I'm saying? This is me talking about, regardless of what the fuck I went through and what the fuck I go through. You know, it's been times where I had nothing, like as far as physically, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about nothing, you know, my version of nothing, because I had clothes, a little bag, you know what I'm saying? Maybe no food, but I knew how to find food, you know what I'm saying? I knew how to walk up the street and go to the house with all the mangoes and shit. And if I couldn't find a house like that, I knew how to not just think about that. Just don't think about the food. Just don't think about that shit. Be active and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Walk around, like, find something to, you know what I'm saying? I was doing videos and shit like that, just like I'm doing now. I'm just uploading these videos on YouTube and shit like that. And when I get my computer, I'm gonna upload my experiences, you know, with me using that camera and the shit I went through using that camera. But I'm at the post office right now. It is absolutely open. I'm so grateful. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't do a video back just because I'll be carrying my package. But I just wanted to show me going to the post office, and I'm gonna get up like close kind of to it, so that for like the thumbnail, which I'm gonna, you know, do better with thumbnails and shit, I wanted to, you know, have this whole like United States post office, and we go inside.